Bashir.
anything I can.
I want to ask you some question. My topic is learning from failure, turning setbacks into opportunities.
Walaikum assalam, Mohammed Tayyib. That sounds like a really insightful topic. I'm happy to help with any questions you have on that. What would you like to know?
Okay, what does it mean to clean from failure?
Learning from failure essentially means reflecting on what went wrong, understanding the reasons behind it, and then using that insight to improve future efforts. It's all about turning those setbacks into valuable lessons that help you grow and ultimately succeed.
Why is failure often seen as negative in society?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think failure is often seen as negative because we tend to associate it with not meeting expectations or falling short of goals. There's also a fear of judgment or disappointment, but in reality, failure is a natural part of growth and it can lead to some of the most meaningful progress.
How can our attitude towards failure affect our personal growth?
Our attitude towards failure can make a huge difference. If we see failure as a learning opportunity, are more likely to take risks, experiment, and push our boundaries. This mindset helps us build resilience, adapt quickly, and ultimately grow faster. On the flip side, if we fear failure too much, we might avoid challenges and miss out on growth opportunities.
What are some examples of famous people who turned failure into success?
There are so many inspiring examples. One classic one is Thomas Edison, who famously said he didn't fail but found 10,000 ways that didn't work while inventing the light bulb. Another example is J.K. Rowling, whose Harry Potter manuscript was rejected multiple times before it got published. And then there's Steve Jobs, who was ousted from Apple, the company he founded, and later returned to lead it to even greater success.
How does failure help build resilience and character?
Failure really pushes us out of our comfort zone, which is where resilience is born. When we face setbacks, we learn how to adapt, persevere, and keep going despite difficulties. Over time, these experiences strengthen our mental and emotional toughness. Thus, every time we overcome a failure, we build confidence and character, making us more capable in the face of future challenges.
Why do some people give up after failure while others rise stronger?
It often comes down to mindset and support systems. People who give up might see failure as a reflection of their abilities or for future disappointment. On the other hand, those who bounce back tend to view failure as a temporary setback and an opportunity to learn. Support from mentors, friends, or a positive environment also plays a big role in helping people rise stronger.
What role does after reflection play after experiencing a setback?
Reflection is absolutely key. It allows us to analyze what happened, identify the lessons learned, and figure out what we can do differently next time. This process helps us avoid making the same mistakes and boosts our problem solving skills. It also helps us maintain a growth mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities to improve rather than as roadblocks.
How can we identify the lessons hidden within failure?
A good way to identify those lessons is to ask yourself some reflective questions like what exactly went wrong, what could I have done differently, and what skills or knowledge can I gain from this experience. It also helps to get feedback from others because they can offer perspectives you might not have considered. And finally, keeping a journal or record of your experiences can really help track your progress over time.
What mindset should we adopt to see failure as an opportunity rather than defeat?
Adopting a growth mindset is really powerful. That means viewing challenges and setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as reflections of your limitations. It also helps to focus on effort and progress rather than just the outcome. And being curious and patient with yourself can really help you see failure in a positive light.
How does failure contribute to creativity and innovation?
Failure often pushes us to think outside the box because when our initial attempts don't work out, we have to get creative and find new solutions. It helps us break away from conventional thinking and try out different approaches. Plus, each failure gives us valuable feedback, which is like a stepping stone towards innovative ideas. So in a way, failure is a catalyst for creativity.
Can success exist without failure?
It's tough to imagine it. Honestly, failure is usually an integral part of the journey to success. It teaches us important lessons, helps us refine our strategies, and builds the resilience we need to ultimately succeed. So while success can certainly come with fewer setbacks, the growth that comes from those setbacks is usually what makes success truly meaningful.
Is it possible to fail and still feel proud of the effort?
Absolutely. It's all about recognizing and valuing the effort and the courage it took to try in the first place. When you focus on the process and the growth that came from the experience, it becomes easier to feel proud of what you accomplished, even if the outcome wasn't what you hoped for. It also helps build a sense of resilience and self respect.
How can educational institutions or workplace create environment where failure is accepted as part of learning?
Creating that kind of environment really starts with fostering a culture of psychological safety where people feel comfortable taking risks without fear of judgment. Educators and leaders can emphasize the learning process, celebrate effort and progress, and encourage reflection on mistakes. Providing constructive feedback and showcasing stories of how failure led to success can also help shift perspectives. Overall, it's about normalizing the idea that failure is just a stepping stone to growth.
What's more important, avoiding failure or learning from it?
That's a great question. I think learning from failure is ultimately more important because it leads to growth, resilience, and innovation. If we focus solely on avoiding failure, we might play it too safe and miss out on valuable opportunities to learn and improve. Embracing failure as a teacher helps us continuously evolve and achieve greater success in the long run.
Do you think failure is necessary for long term success?
I do think failure plays a significant role in long-term success. It teaches us invaluable lessons, helps us refine our strategies, and builds the kind of resilience that's essential for overcoming future obstacles. While it's not the only path to success, it definitely adds depth to your journey and often leads to more meaningful and sustainable achievements.
How can leaders use their failure to inspire others?
Leaders can be really inspiring by being open about their own failures and sharing the lessons they've learned from them. This kind of transparency helps humanize them and shows their team that setbacks are a natural part of growth. It also encourages a culture where taking risks and learning from mistakes is valued. When leaders show vulnerability and resilience, and inspires others to do the same.
Okay, what emotional skills are needed to handle failure effectively?
To handle failure effectively, emotional skills like resilience are crucial as they help you bounce back from setbacks. Self awareness is also important so you can understand and manage your emotions effectively. Self compassion helps you be kind to yourself rather than overly self critical. And emotional regulation is key so you can stay calm and clear headed and keep moving forward.
How does our culture or upbringing influence how we deal with failure?
Our culture and upbringing have a huge impact on how we perceive and respond to failure. For instance, cultures that emphasize perfectionism or competition might make failure feel more daunting, while cultures that value growth and learning tend to view failure as a stepping stone. Um, Similarly, the way our family and educators respond to our mistakes can shape our attitude toward setbacks. Over time, these influences can either make us more resilient or more fearful of failure.
What strategies can help turn a setback into a new opportunity?
One powerful strategy is to reframe the setback as a learning experience, focusing on what you can gain from it. Another helpful tactic is to set small, achievable goals that lead you toward a bigger objective, making the path forward feel more manageable. Um, Seeking feedback and advice from mentors or peers can also open up new perspectives and opportunities. And finally, staying flexible and adaptable allows you to pivot and find new paths that you might not have considered before.
How can technology and AI help us analyze and learn from our failure faster?
Technology and AI can be fantastic tools for this. They can quickly analyze large amounts of data to identify patterns and pinpoint what went wrong. They can also provide real-time feedback, which helps us make adjustments quickly. AI can also highlight trends that might not be obvious at first glance and even suggest potential solutions. Plus, using AI for simulations and scenario planning can prepare us for future challenges, making it easier to learn and grow from each experience.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. If you have any more questions or just want to chat, feel free to reach out anytime.